Hi everyone and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Comexposed. My name is Eugene Ramirez Mapondera.
And my name is Tinodiwa Zambe-Makoni. And we're back again with more exciting stuff happening here in Africa.
That's right. Today we're going to be covering more festivals and the happenings around Zimbabwe in particular, considering all the different circumstances that have affected events because of, the economic situation. We're going to be looking at a case study of Shoko Festival, which is currently happening. By this time it's over, but it's been running since the 27th of September till the 30th of September.
Shoko Festival is one of the biggest urban culture events that has taken place within Zimbabwe over the last couple of years. And we're excited that they're still going forward. As Eugene has alluded, things are not easy.
Yeah.
And you've got to give a big thumbs up to anyone who continues to move forward in such difficult circumstances.
Yeah. Haifa itself, which is the Harare International Festival of the Arts, did downscale and eventually skipped a few years. And Shoko has been resilient, and it's downscaled by reducing the number of days in which the festival is conducted, but it has drawn more resources and attention to its sub-event known as the Hub Conference, a conference that takes place on a daily basis within Shoko itself.
The Hub Conference covers a lot of topics, but predominantly tech-related things. You've got your drones going on. Us as Comexposed have also been there and spoken within the conference, and this year is no exception with some amazing guests that they've managed to get in from around the world.
Yeah.
Notable of which would be people like Epps, a well-known filmmaker and lighting expert based in the USA. And he's come all the way here to talk to us about his amazing work. I mean, he's well known for films such as Selma, which is a huge hit back in state too.
That's right. So Epps' particular set of skills lie around lighting. And lighting is a very, very comprehensive skill set, comprehensive art, which requires a lot of positioning. It's a science in itself. And in some cases, he's identified as a director of photography. Not a film director, but a director of photography. So these are skills that are definitely needed right here in Africa. I mean, we've seen our African movies, and we've got different levels of quality. But,
I think we're great when it comes to lighting. Have you seen those Nigerian effects? They're
shedding a whole new light on our films.
But speaking of high quality, we've also had Zimbabweans who've managed to get right up in front of international screens, such as being anchors for Al Jazeera and CNN, and we're talking of
Robyn Kriel. Yeah.
And she's all the way here as well, born and bred in Zimbabwe, and talking at the Hub Conference about her journey and her experiences working for networks such as ENCA, CNN, Al Jazeera. She's an award-winning journalist and anchor woman who was born and raised right here in Zimbabwe, Bulawayo. Being a journalist is kind of crazy in this part of the world. So,
I'm sure she's going to be sharing a great deal of first-hand experience from within that particular field to a lot of journalism enthusiasts who will be gathered at Shoko Festival. Pendula is actually going to be attending this year, and they'll be conducting a lot of journalistic and also web-related activities and coding jams and things like that, which is exciting. I'm sure the crowd is going to be something else.
If you don't know Pendula, you can consider them sort of the Zimbabwean or African wiki. Wikipedia. And they kind of collate and give you the lowdown on all things happening around us. So it's great to see them there as well.
Thanks for having a Comexposed page on Pendula, by the way. Check it out.
Selfless plug. There you go.
Speaking of other developments within the tech sphere in Zimbabwe, we've seen the emergence of a very interesting application coming from Cassava Fintech.
Cassava Fintech, if you are not familiar with them, are just Econet. They're still trying to take over the world, and I mean that seriously. Cassava have brought us a brand new app, Sasai. And Sasai is effectively all apps in one. It's like the what's that huge ship in Star Wars?
That like the Enterprise? Bigger than the Enterprise?
No, not in Star Wars. Star Trek. Star Wars.
Oh, Star Wars.
The one Darth Vader goes in on, like trying to take everything else out. So this app that they've got is pretty much WhatsApp and a marketplace and your internet and everything, just in one amazing central location.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a chat application which also has financial, services and features, including a payment gateway, which is linked for now to EcoCash. So when you look at Sasai, you can compare it to other pre-existing apps such as WeChat. As a matter of fact, they have not shied away from drawing parallels between their product and WeChat, which is very popular in South Africa and Asia. So Sasai, much like WeChat, also has these different gateways and portals within it that link to pre-existing services from different industries.
If you go through the app and click on the Explore section, you find a whole plethora of different subcategories, and you can find everything from restaurants to driving apps to holidaying stuff to gaming and your finances and your music, all of that within the app.
Technical services.
Yeah.
And that's where we'd like to actually dwell on, actually. This is a great opportunity. But the execution ultimately is not up to scratch or clearly in the process of being built, even though the service or the app is being rolled out to the public.
For a company as large as Econet, as massive as Econet, it is very disappointing, I must say, that you start a chat app predominantly that you cannot really chat in. It's pathetic. It's pathetic that they've done that. We're hoping that they're going to continue to improve. Yeah. We're kind of on the ride with them, whether we like it or not. But with the huge potential that this app has, that first aspect is already a bit disappointing.
Yeah. In the early days, we did try and test it out ourselves, and I clearly remember sitting in a room and we had an iOS
together,
version.
In the same room.
iOS version of the app, and he had an Android version of the app, and it was on different phones from an iPhone, an HTC, and a Samsung. And we sent friend requests to each other, and they just didn't develop. We were on the same wireless network, which was working just fine.
Yeah, working perfectly.
But basic functionality like that was not performing well.
Even finding people, like looking for people on there, was taking the latency, the lag was just ridiculous for an app that's meant to replace WhatsApp. So really there was no reason to port over to this app if it was going to behave like that, even though people obviously gave it a shot or are trying to give it a shot.
So it's really worrying because currently they're trying their best to pose a challenge to WhatsApp and introduce an application that not only helps with communication, but also payment services.
Yeah.
And WhatsApp has already been hinting WhatsApp Pay.
Yeah.
And Facebook has already made Libra common use by now. So you have to ask yourself this question, is it actually going to be a contender in this field as soon as those more mature, more experienced services that belong to a giant hit this market?
We don't know. It depends on the degree of push that they're going to have for this, and they are pushing quite heavily. If you listen to the radio quite a bit, they are shouting and screaming about this. But what you're not hearing on the radio is all the other supporting apps within their app talking about them being on Sasai.
Yeah.
You've got so many other apps within the subcategories, but you don't know that, I can go to Sasai and access this thing, or even how to really integrate their ability to pay their MasterCard or whatever they're going to use for payment.
There's
no integration. I don't know how they connected.
Yeah, if we could actually pose a suggestion, it would have been wiser to market the MasterCard that links to EcoCash.
Yeah.
While marketing or promoting these features that allow you to get services that aren't even in Zimbabwe at the moment. And examples of those are Debonaire's Pizza.
We don't even have Debonaire's in Zim or McDonald's. It's not here.
Yeah, but you can find those under the Explore tab. So you have to ask yourself, what are these guys thinking? Or did they roll out a prototype that they are trying to get from beta to final while we're using it? And
it feels like one of those phones you buy that's padded with bloatware.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of extra things that you're never really going to use, but you might want to use. Like there's takealot.com there. I visit Takealot. I'd love to buy some stuff, but I know that if I try to pay for something, I may not be successful, let alone getting it delivered to me in Zimbabwe. I don't get it. But the fact that it's there indicates that they plan to get it.
I was talking to a friend of mine and I realized that there's pure anxiety around this app because he says he was about to order something from one of the services, which is local. And he stopped at the checkout button. And I can see this guy sweating bullets, thinking twice, should I hit this or not?
They have not yet inspired trust, and there's no ad campaign inspiring. You're asking us to put money in a WhatsApp type thing. surely there should be some push towards getting us to really, really, really believe that this thing works. We know it works in China. I mean, we can sit with WeChat, and we know that this is kind of a clone of a lot of stuff that's happening there, so it can work.
Yes, so there's this opportunity for the people behind Sasai, that is Cassava Fintech, to actually open up their API to local developers. That would give us all an opportunity to present the types of services or portals that could be built into the app that are applicable to guys who are making stuff on the ground here in Zim. I mean, think of your musicians, the comic book artists, the animators, the guys on platforms such as Tech Nights. They could actually build tools that are streamlined and tailor-made for the Zimbabwean market so that the consumer can actually benefit a lot more from Sasai, and you get all of these different business opportunities being realized. But at the moment, they're focusing on attracting a lot of international brands to try and maybe, give them some sort of credibility as though they're established, but it's looking more and more like a prototype the more they just dunk links and URLs to external websites in this app.
I am skeptical of this particular company opening anything up to the general public, or at least local creators to come up with stuff, but that would be the solution to making it a really viable app. I would want to have our own Comexposed app there. Surely it would make sense, but we'll see if they do that. Right now, aside from padding with international things, they are plugging in. If you open almost every page there, the first or the second app is an Econet app. So they do have apps within each category. Don't be surprised if you see Eco Travel any moment soon.
Eco Farmer.
We've got it for everything. And we don't mind so much. But if you're going to advertise Taxify, or if you're going to advertise Lyft, as there is on the app, maybe you should check if Lyft is in Africa first, before putting it as bloatware amongst everything else. It's kind of annoying.
So on that note, we hope that they will make it easier for you to support organizations and causes that you love, such as Comexposed, or artists that you're trying to back all this time, but just don't know how to get their album online. But you know what? Hopefully they'll come in the near future.
Hey, who knows? By the time we get to our con, maybe you can pay with Sasai. By the way, this is not a paid promotion.
On that note, remember, you can check us out on our very reliable website. That's www.comexposed.com, or check out any of our profiles on social media, including Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and more.
And more.
Keep adding them.
Wherever you need to see us, we're there. Even at your house.
So for this week, remember to like and subscribe this video. My name's Eugene.
And my name is Tino, and we will catch you next time.
Believe in yourself.